Hey Flosstube, this is Tara with Wild Woman Crafts, and welcome to another corner of this room. Hi, if you're new here, there's been a little handful of y'all that have trickled in, and I hope that you stick around and you're having a good time and you've seen something that you like and you've said hello in the comments at some point. But so normally I'm sitting like right here, basically facing this window. But as you can see, a tree is up and I'm so excited about it because this is my like big girl tree. Now I have been rocking like the 4-foot the 4-foot tree that I have had for almost 8 years and plugged it in this year and all the lights were not working. I even attempted to do the little TikTok change the fuse in the plug situation and still no lights. So got a new tree this year. Very excited about it, and hope it can hold more nice little ornaments as I continue to make them. But I am all over the place. This is a Flosstube channel, not a home decor channel, obviously. But yeah, I think we're gonna try this setup for December. You can see my bird feeder if you're seeing flittering up there. And I think it'll be nice because there's also, as you can see, like exploding on me, there's a lot of junk where I normally sit. So not only do I have to like gather up everything to film, I had to like move all that out the way, and with possible daily unboxings coming, it just seems like maybe we'll just try this angle, see how it works. So hopefully there's enough light from my light this way that it's counteracting everything going on there. Okay, let's get into it. I have a number of finishes, 2 fully finished objects, lots of works in progress, well, new starts, just the works. So we will get into it. So yeah, first up, we'll start with finishes and fully finished objects. So the first one, actually teased you back here, so I can gently do this. I finally fully finished Santa's stamp collection. So how freaking adorable is this fabric? I love it so much. But yeah, I just finished this last night and I stole this finishing method from Elizabeth Savory. I will tag her in my description. But such a smart idea. Basically, these are just magnetic, cheap little frames off Amazon. And so I did put interfacing on the back of the piece and then just sewed it to the fabric. And now it can hang here. And then, I think this is especially smart for seasonal pieces, because then if I have something of a similar size that I want to finish this way, you could just swap it out and it can hang in the same spot on the wall. So this will have a home on the wall, but since I did it last night, it's not up there yet. I will caution, it is a bit delicate. The magnets, I don't know if maybe it was just the listing that I bought or whatever, but the magnets are not super strong. I've contemplated maybe like gluing additional magnets on there. I think as long as it's hanging, it's fine, but it doesn't tolerate, I don't think you would want to leave it as a door pull. I think that if it was swinging around, it would fall off. I don't think the magnets are very sturdy. But anyway, and that is Santa Stamp Collection by Kathryn Landis. We got the fabric in the Nice List box last year, and that was like a stitch along that was released with the box. All DMC, all that good stuff. So my second finish is not quite as pretty, but I'm really happy with it. So this is Christmas Pin Pillow by Barrick, and I finished it into a pillow. So don't look at the bottom. I have not finished, this is my first pillow finish with trim before, and I got a little frustrated. At the end, and whatever. The model picture is a little bit more rectangular with the design, and I went more square, and but it's done, and that's what's important. But anyway, I got a little impatient and just kind of was like, YOLO, we're sewing this. Sorry, I just really dated myself with the YOLO. But yeah, so it's not super cute on the bottom, but that's okay. It's done. It's very cute. I'm very satisfied with the finishing materials I ended up going with. So this is actually kind of a deep olive corduroy, and I had this as a scrap from my sewing class I took actually in like 2021. I made a tote bag out of this fabric, and I just thought it went with the muted tones so well. And I'm also just completely in love with this like trim that I have. I feel like it matches perfectly with this little accent color, and this was just in one of those like Michael's big, thick, crazy trim packs. They had kind of like an autumnal toned one with lots of like yellows, orange, browns, that kind of department. And I just think it looks really good. I like the components. I don't love the finish, but it is my first and we learned a lot, and it's fine. If I'm ever that frustrated with it, I can always rip it out and do it by hand. But both the linen and the cord were pretty prone to like fraying if I was right on the edge. So anyway, I got a little frustrated, but it's all done. And this was all done in like kit materials that were in the, again, I think the 2021 Nice List box. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have a place to sit this behind me, but yeah, so those were my two fully finishes that I have with me. I have two more fully finished things that I want to share with you, but they are not with me anymore. So during American Thanksgiving, that whole week I took off and my sister came into town and spent Thanksgiving with us here, which was really nice. And I had a number of projects. Related to her trip, which, as you'll see, kind of threw me off of my own cross-stitching plans, but that's fine. We had a great time. So she had a couple of shirts from a job that she no longer has, and they had been like corporate shirts that had, you know, an embroidered logo on them, and she didn't want the logo anymore, but they're really, you know, pretty good quality shirts that she didn't wear for that long. So I told her to gently, you know, try to seam rip the logo off, and that went better for some shirts than others. So she brought me two shirts that had mixed success with that. There were some holes. One was a knitted cardigan and the other one was like a polo. And they had holes in them. Unfortunately, I did not have the foresight to take photos of them with the holes. But I will put some photos up now. So with the cardigan, I ended up stitching this little Rapunzel's tower. That was her request. And it came out adorable, I think. So I stitched it on 14 count waist canvas, and I did intentionally use, I'm not gonna be able to remember it right, but back, if you've been here, you know that I had a little tiny dabble into needlepoint. I did one needlepoint project, and I think it's like that continental stitch. Is that it? I'm not sure. It's whatever, and hopefully I've like corrected myself on the screen maybe, but it is a stitch where you're sort of taking the longest distance across the back that you can. So I did that to just kind of maximize the coverage, because technically there's like nothing, there's sort of like nothing when you take the waist canvas away that's like actually patching the hole, but they were really small holes. I mean, you can see the width of that is like pretty small, and that covered the hole. So I did try to use that like method to make sure that the back was sort of as full as possible. But yeah, that went really well. No problems there. So that was the first one I did, and that was on 14 count waist canvas. And then the second one I did on the polo is this Sailor Moon Luna Cat. I did accidentally stitch it all in 310 when technically it was called for in like, you know, one of the really deep grays, and then there was supposed to be back stitching in 310. So he lost a little definition, but it looks good. And both of these patterns are from Craftigurumi. And I will share some other stuff that I bought from them later, but did a little shopping for little small, if you're looking for little small things that are, you know, kind of more, I guess, like nerdy or video game aligned potentially, there's a lot of good little mini sets there. So I'll show you some of those later. But yes, so those were my 4 fully finished objects. And then since I'm kind of on my sister's trip and things that I don't have to show you, I'll just throw this in here as well. But even though it's not cross stitch, I also sewed her with a sewing machine a sort of base layer for a Renaissance look that we are kind of designing together. So my sister, not a Renaissance look, a Renaissance fair look. She loves to go to Ren fairs, and we've been talking for a long time that she kind of has this like ice fairy costume that she's sort of working on, and we've talked about it for a long time. But long story long, she came and I was like, we're gonna make something that'll up the costume or the fit, and somehow we ended up designing an entirely new look from scratch. So so I used bed sheets that I had bought from Goodwill to make this, and then we bought Rit dye because we're gonna dye it green. Now she's going for more of an earth fairy look. And unfortunately, I did not buy synthetic Rit dye. I didn't realize the sheets were 100% polyester, so I could not use the regular Rit dye, so we need to get the synthetic. So it is with her. She flew back with it, and since I will be in Texas for the winter holidays, we will resume when I get there. So those are the 5 fully finished objects I've had in the month of November. Today is November 29th, so I'm kind of squeezing this in before December. And I have one other finish to show you, which I am over the moon about that this got done. And what do you know? It's, oh no, it's here. It's here. Yeah, it's here. What was I thinking? Anyway. So my last finished object of the month is the long-eared owl. I am so thrilled with this. Hold on, I'm trying to give him a little more clearance at the top here. I am so happy to have this done. This was definitely a very beefy Bird Crush Club bird, very dense in the center there. I mean, that's all full coverage in there. But I love it. So this was stitched on 32 count Water Spirit linen by Seraphim. Yeah, Water Spirit. And you can see I got another one down here. So we are officially down to the last 2 Bird Crush Club birds by Lindy Stitches. And I am just so happy with this. I really kicked it into high gear early this month. And yes, really happy to have that one done. It now feels possible that I might get the other 2 done because this one was really, really looming over me. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of just, every time I'm like, I feel kind of disjointed, but then I watch it back and I'm like, it is fine. But anyway, yes, so that is all of the finishes and fully finishes. So for, I guess I don't technically have any works in progress because everything else I'm going to show you is a start or a planned start this month. So, much like if you watched, I guess, either of my last 2 videos, I talked about the 13 stitches of Halloween and all of that. So similarly for December, there are the 12 days of stitching for winter and of course Christmas themed, or, you know, any other winter holidays that you want to stitch on. There's the 12 days of stitching. So I am also planning to do this. And I think as I mentioned in my last video, I am again trying to like cheese it just a little bit. So I had several starts this month to hopefully set myself up for finishes in December. But sorry, I just totally lied to you. Before we get to those, I have one more start to show you that was an unplanned rogue start that Jen talked me into. So I got talked into starting Evening Stroll from the Autumn Lane Stitchery box. We have a lingering Halloween chart, friends. So this, yes, came in the Autumn Lane Stitchery Halloween box. It's like a Mill Hill kit. It's on perforated paper. It came with everything, all the beads, needles, all that jazz. So here is my start. Let's see, on this. So not a bad start, but I thought there was a possibility I was going to get this done this month. But the end of the month definitely got away from me once I kind of like took off work and my sister was in town, but that's okay. So this was the first start of the month, November 1st, unplanned. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You gotta leave a little wiggle room for unplanned starts. So with that out of the way, I love that chart. I actually do really want to keep stitching on it. Let's get into the 12 days of stitching. So I think much like I did in September or whatever, who knows, in a previous video, I think I just kind of like went down my list, and if I started it, I showed you that. And if I haven't started it, I will show you the chart or the supplies or whatever I have here. So first up on my 12 days of stitching is a Swedish Neat Bells chart. So you can see a finish I had last year. This was the one that I pre-stitched for the Jingle Ball and completed during class. So there are 5 more of them. They are very cute little small stitches, and I'm really hoping that I haven't completely forgotten how to assemble them, but I would love to get 1, if not 2 or 3, more of these done in December. Excuse me. So this is all kit fabric. It's basically just 310, and then there is like 1 classic color work in the center of each of these. So we just kind of got little like strands of those on a card. So this lives in this bag, and you can kind of see all the pretty ribbons. I have all the finishing stuff, so there better be more of these on the tree next year. There better be. Let's see, in the interest of things not running away, let's put this back in here. So that is project number 1. Project number 2, my Polar Express bag. I have started. So this is the first of the Polar Plunge series by Hands On Design. And this is Polar Bear Peak, as you are reading. And I had a really good start on this. I almost contemplated just wrapping it up and trying to start another one, but I didn't. So here it is. Oh, so cute. So I did go all out on this one, and I did buy the thread pack. I have it with my little cute cross stitch store. So I have the thread pack, love the colors. This is the called for fabric. This is Fabrics by Stephanie Polar Plunge in 32 count. So you are supposed to be able to fit all 6 of the ornaments on a fat quarter, which is what I have. So here's hoping. I will say, it is so funny. On camera, this looks so dark. This color right here, which is tartan plaid, I believe. If you buy this, it just, in person and when I was stitching it, it looked so light. It looks so much lighter than the cover photo. Like those trees look on the outside there, look dark, look deep, deep dark. And even though they do look dark here, they don't look, I don't know, they don't look quite that dark. So I guess that would be my 2 cents. If you love that color, I don't know what it is. Tartan plaid. It's one of those really weird colors. Like even looking at this color next to those trees, I'm kind of like, that doesn't look like the same color. It's a weird one. So consider tartan plaid. Especially like I said, when you look at it compared to mint julep, like those colors just don't look that different. And mint julep is this like bottom color underneath the little like whatever ice flow that the bear is on. I'm not sure. I don't know. It kind of took me aback. It looks fine now, so I guess trust the process, but that just threw me for a loop. So if you were looking to kit this up, maybe, like I said, maybe reconsider dark plaid. If you have a gorgeous deep teal in stash, maybe grab that one. Okay, so that's number 2. Okay, number 3 is... Oh, that's fun. I think I lumped these. Oh yeah, okay. Never mind. Ignore me. Is a small start. This is where things started to kind of go off the rails. I started Silver Bells by Lindy Stitchy. This was in, again, the Nice List box last year. My #1 source for winter and Christmas themed charts. So this is what I have. I have, let's see. No, yeah. There we go. This is the direction. I have this tail feather happening here. But I love the variegation on it. This color, this green color is Elphaba. And the fabric is, again, kit fabric. It came in the box. So this is frozen Belfast linen by Forbidden Fiber Co. and 32 count. And it came with 3 Forbidden Fiber Co. flosses, and the rest is DMC. So, yes. Love this one. It's not too big. I'm hoping at the Jingle Ball this weekend, I'm going to get just like a ton of stuff. Recover a lot of this progress here. But here, I'll show you. It's a little crazy. So yeah, these are the 3 threads that came in the box. And then I pulled out my little my Grinchy Atom Heart thread hearts for the remaining little colors there. So that is technically started. I put, it's a long time ago. I was watching someone's video. I really couldn't tell you who. And I heard them say that the designer Park Hopper Bart said it's not a start unless there's 100 stitches in it. And at the time, I was like, that's silly. 1 stitch is a start. What are you talking about? But then somewhere, and I still believe that. I believe that on a logical level, but now for me, in my head, it's not a start unless I put 100 stitches into it. So all of these have at least 100 stitches. Great. So that is that. Next up, in my little women bag here, is probably one of the charts I was most excited about starting. This is Autumn Lane Stitchery's To All a Good Night. I love this style from them with this kind of gaping design. So basically, as you'll see, the called for fabric is white. And so it's an opalescent white. So all of the white in this chart, all the snowflakes, all of this is unstitched area. And I just love it. I just love it. I love the look of it. So I did make pretty good progress on this, but not as much as I had hoped. So I put the outline in, basically. So yeah, here this is. You can see the sparkle on it. The chart is like pretty small. It can be a little misleading when, I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but like when charts are all sold in, like a certain size, you're just sort of like, I don't know. I guess I sort of have a mental size in my head. I'm like, this is huge. But this one is 66 by 118. So really not too bad. It's very funny to see this when like the pattern we got in the Autumn Lane Stitchery box that's like, 22,000 something stitches, it's printed on the same size paper, if that makes sense. My wee little brain has trouble sometimes. But this one is much more merciful than that Halloween chart that I was looking at. I hope this behind here. But anyway, loving. Really want to get some more in this. And I'm thinking Fandom Stitching is doing a similar thing for the December monthly challenges. I've kind of fallen off already in that group, but they're doing a similar thing in December that they did in October, where you can do 12 projects in December, and or one project for 12 days. And I think this would be a really great candidate for stitching on for 12 days. And maybe I would come close to finishing it. Who knows? So that is that one. Next up, I got so set up for this chart this year, is Hands-On Designs Flamingle Bells. Sorry, that's the chart I started with. Flamingle Bells. And when I tell you, it's so funny. I've had these charts for like 2 years, all 3 of them. There's a trio of these. I've had them for like 2-ish years, and I'm so happy because now I was so set up with the Flamingo Black Needle Society box we got this year that all of my stuff is just adorable. So I am going a little rogue, especially for me, because I don't tend to like to go very rogue if you've been around here. But I have nothing that is called for these. So here I am. I love it so much. So this is called for on Icelandic blue, which even looking at it, I was like, this doesn't even look like blue fabric to me. It was called for on Icelandic blue by Witchelt. And all of the called for threads are weeks. So we just mixed it up. We went totally creative. I tried really hard. So this fabric is 32 count opalescent Crystal Dwarf by Picture This Plus. I had just like randomly felt called to buy this on 123 Stitch forever ago. This has just been sitting around, and I finally found the piece for it. So as you can see, I went a much more variegated route. I'm going to show off my thread choices here, because once again, if you caught the video where I showed my thread wall, basically I finally put all my fancy flosses this year on a pegboard, and I've really been enjoying that because I can actually see everything and it's like rainbow colored or rainbow organized. I pulled from the thread wall completely, and so it is all fancy flosses, and there are 2 silks, and I could not be more happy about it. So this is the Fabric Flock Shop. So cute. So yeah, we have a couple. I don't know if it's because some of these I know came in boxes, so I don't really know that it's beneficial for me to like specifically go through all these, but I have a couple Forbidden Fiber Co's, a Be Stitch Me silk, gorgeous, a Color in Cotton, Cottage Garden threads, let's see, we got a Fibralicious here, another Be Stitch Me silk, and then 2 other Forbidden Fiber colors. And these ones, actually, funny enough, were both from the Clue box, the Halloween box that I did last month in that project. So it's just perfect. It's just perfect. I love these colors. They're so good. I'm so happy. And I think it's coming out great so far. And then, yeah, we got my Flockstar needle minder there. So really happy with the start on this. I think we're on track to, again, in fantasy land, I would have done like a whole series or something, but that's okay. That's okay. So this is, what did we get to? Number 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay, great. Love it. Next up, this should have been a start by now, but it is not. And that's okay. So in my Me Made bag with my Me stitched cross stitch on the front here, we have Frosty Winter Mouse in a House, aka Frosty Mouse in a Winter House, because that is, in my heart of hearts, what I feel it should be called. I picked up this chart last year at Acorns and Threads, and I was traveling for work, which was amazing, and I'd never seen anything by Just Nan before. And this is the finished piece, so it's very DIY. And it has to be done in a certain way, which is part of what I think has made me put off doing it for so long, is I'm a little bit nervous about it. And I don't really have a good gray for it, but we're just kind of going with it. So I picked out this color here, which is an unnamed Be Stitch Me. It's like number 430. I guess I got it on a fight night. I'm a little worried that it's a little too light, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I think the effect will hopefully come across. I don't know. But yeah, this one I should have had started already. But I want to be mindful. There's instructions in there on how to place everything and all that good stuff. So it'll get started. It'll get started. I'll do it. I promise. I'm scared, but I'll do it. Excellent. So that one is not yet started. Next up, we do have another start. And this is the companion piece to, I have no idea what it's called. This is the companion piece to the cats in Halloween costumes, Biscornu. This is Merry Meowmas Biscornu by Stitchy Prose. So we have all these 4 little cute cats here. And I am using the called for DMC, but I had this great little like strip of vintage country mocha that I pulled from my whatchamacallit, my Bird Crush Club. There we go. So I did have a start on this one. Again, a little bit of a delayed start thanks to my sister. Just kidding. But yeah, so we got the border on the top done, outside edge done, and started a little bit on some of these inside motifs here. So the only one I am a little bit nervous about on this one is that maybe the like gingerbread color won't show up super great, but I did a little swatch and I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. So love that. Love this efficient use of an offcut of fabric that I had. So very excited to continue with that one. Next up, okay, now we're getting into stuff that's really about to be done soon. So this is where, you know, in cross stitch, the game's made up and the points don't matter. So am I cheesing this a little bit? Yes. Do I care? No. So this is going to be one of my Jingle Ball class pieces for this year. So this is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's Season's Greetings. And as you can see, I am quite a ways into this project. So this was stitched on the kit fabric, which is Picture This Plus Fawn in 28 count. I got the linen, and I picked the vintage colorway after much inner debate. But I did make one substitution. So on the candles here, hopefully you can see how sparkly it is, I did sub Krynic, which I had just like randomly bought this Krynic when I was in a needlepoint store because I was just looking for things that, you know, would be good for me as a cross stitcher. So this is Krynic number 4. And I am so happy with just like how textured they look, how like kind of they come off the stitches a little bit, and how shiny it is. I love it so much. And if hopefully, I don't know, maybe you're at the Jingle Ball and so you don't have time to watch this before the Jingle Ball, because I'm assuming this will come up on Friday, which is the day it starts. But anyway, hope to see you there. So yeah, I think I went over all the kit stuff, so I won't do that. But that will be my project finish. The class is on Saturday for me, so I'm going to have to, this will be my priority on Friday, December 1st. That'll be my first project of the month, which then leads me to the project that I will do On the 2nd in the morning, so I have to kind of get it to a point where I know I can finish it, is the ink circles piece. And I'm trying to remember, did I show it last video? I really don't remember. I am so sorry. But I also got ink circles, seas and greetings, the nautical pun of the season's greetings. And there are 3 charts in here. The kit also came with a bonus chart, which was super nice. And so even though, again, I'm not sure, it's jogging my memory that I feel like I said I didn't think that I was going to actually finish this during the class, but neither here nor there. I did buy the kit for this one as well. And I decided, even though I do love all 3 of these, I decided to do the ship pattern because I cannot get over the little narwhal playing hoop with the wreath. So I started this yesterday. So here's my start on seas and greetings. I love the funky font on this. I mean, look at that. That's an N and that's a D. I just love it. I love the colors. I am just absolutely so enraptured with the colors. I mean, look at this is bandana on the top here and bejeweled on the bottom. Oh, they're so good and so thoughtful in the kit as well. There's a laminated card with the like color key, and you can kind of see this is the bonus chart actually, where it says season greetings, and there's a sailor throwing the wreaths onto the little narwhal horns. So cute, and maybe I didn't show it. I couldn't tell you. So anyway, here's the fabrics here. I believe are these considered batiks? I'm not a sewist enough to know. But yeah, it came with this, and then as well, the like butcher's twine and the little wheel charm that you see in like one of the models. So very excited to attend this class, and this is a quick little stitch. So that's another reason I like this chart, and I think it's probably the one with the least amount of stitching. So good call if you're trying to pre-stitch like 2 days before class. So yes, very excited about all that. Oh yeah, and the called for fabric, my bad, on that one is, it doesn't say, oh yeah, Enchanted, 32 count Enchanted by Mystic Fabrics. There you go. And it's all classic colorworks, which, you know, what was fun was comparing it to the Swedish neat bells last year, because I mentioned, you know, these motifs are so small that the classic colorworks, we just got like strands of it. I didn't get a whole floss of it. So there are a couple of overlapping colors. So I'm really happy because now when I'm done with these, I have leftovers, so I can kind of like add those strands to the complete skeins where possible. So that ended up being fun. Little prize for being continuous with the ink circles. Okay, we're getting there. So next up is another non-start, and this is a Mill Hill kit. Yeah, it's a Mill Hill kit. So this is the Snowman globe. Cute. I did the like Christmas tree globe last year. That's reminded me. That's an ornament that's sitting up on the floss wall. It needs to go on the tree. That'll be up next time. The Snowman globe. So we have the Christmas tree globe coming. And I have that all kind of set to go. You know, Mill Hills are all very self-contained. So that will be a good one to start sometime in the month. And then lastly, so this is the one, this is kind of where it gets wild card. So that is 10 projects, 11 and 12. I'm trying to throw myself a little bit of a break here, a little bit of assistance. Excuse me. So right now I'm currently thinking 11 and 12 are my bird crush clubs, because that was a goal I set for the year, was to finish these, and we are coming down to the wire. So I think actually this evening, because I just got to get to it, I'm going to start November's bird, which is the violet green swallow. The bird, as you can see, is like, I think going to be pretty quick. That's pretty big, but you know, if you just, I am a big fan of outline and fill. I am curious to see, it actually looks like she worked it diagonally to get that texture. Sorry, you have time. So Michelle Bendy says that sometimes. For blended square symbol, oh wait, let's see, backstitch. Yeah. I stitched the top of the wood by finishing each stitch individually, working in diagonal stripes. Gorgeous. I'm definitely going to do that. And then lastly, the red face warbler. So I feel like if nothing else, this is going to count as project 11 because it's the December bird. It's red. It feels seasonal. But I'm going to leave room for maybe project 12 to be a surprise. Because again, I'm opening the nice list box. And so this will be kind of a, yeah, that's all the whips. That's all the starts and plans in that department. So we'll just carry on. So the other plan that might throw everything off the rails, I just watched this week, Mariam and Marumi Crafts announced her first start along. I really love that she went with her whole chest and said, this is a start along, not a stitch along. Because it is big. I adore all of her patterns. They're gorgeous. They're just amazing. I love all of them. I love listening to all of the beautiful stories, the beautiful history behind everything that she designs. And embarrassingly, I've not started any of it. And it's because if you've been around a while, you can see I try to avoid really big pieces. I try to avoid them, and a lot of her designs are on the larger side, and I get a little intimidated, even though I still want to do them. And this start along, stitch along, if you have not watched her video, she'll be linked. It is from Yalda to Nowruz. I'm really hoping I'm saying that right. You know what? Let's all take a pause and make sure that I have that correct. And we're back. Okay, so easy to just make sure you're not making a total fool of yourself online. Yalda to Nowruz. And it is, again, I didn't watch the whole video, that clip, but it is sort of two major holidays in Persian culture and Iranian culture, which is Mariam's culture and or ancestry, and they're two big holidays from, you know, winter solstice to spring equinox, which my brain has completely left me. It is solstice and equinox, right? Not winter equinox, spring solstice. No, that's a winter solstice to spring equinox. Just such a lovely idea. And of course, in classic Mariam fashion, you know, all the uncalled for colors are encouraged, all, you know, monochromatic or blends. So my hang up with this, because I want to buy it, I for sure want to buy it, I am scared to even start it. Because first of all, it's pretty tall. I think it's in like the 272 department, by, you know, 100 and change wide. But also, you know, she kind of said that there will be a little bit of choose your own adventure to it. You can skip drops. There might be multiple choices for drops, just a lot of decisions that need to be made. And so I have zero confidence in myself to either like commit to a variegated thread and just go for one color. So I think I'm going to buy it. I know I'm going to buy it. And I feel like I need to see a drop or two before I can decide how to proceed, basically. but go check it out. Go buy. I think it's going to be great. And it's her first Stitchy start along, Stitch start along, whatever. And I'm so excited for her. I just, like, I could gush, but she has just really come in and, like, rocked it in the cross stitch world, I feel like. So anyway, go show her some support. Also, so the nice list box. So this year, very fun. As opposed to the scratch card that they have done previously, they have the nice list, and you can open it the nice way, or you can open the naughty way. So the naughty way is descriptions of all the items just in here. And the nice way is there's a QR code to describe every day's item. When I saw this, I wanted to be naughty. I wanted to open it all. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not done it before. I've been very on the Advent wagon, or like, you know, daily presents wagon more so. And I still have not opened anything. So I think I'm gonna do it the nice way. And last year I did kind of like weekly compilations of those clips, but part of me wonders if maybe it wouldn't be easier to do daily videos. Like, I know that's kind of a lift, but I feel like everything, like, things will all upload faster if it's a smaller file, right? Anyway, I'm thinking out loud a little bit here, but I am currently contemplating, we will all find out together what happens. I am contemplating daily videos, opening the Advent box or the nice list box, and then I can accompany those with my 12 days of stitching progress. So I believe in an ideal world, I will be sharing daily videos and showing stitching updates in those videos. But obviously, if you don't want to watch those videos, you will see the end product at the end. So, you know, at the end of, I mean, probably in January, because once again, I am traveling to Texas to be with family for 3 weeks. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I have many decisions to make that I have not made yet on what I can pack, you know, because obviously hauling all these projects right now, they're living in this bag. But, you know, I have gifts and, you know, clothes, other things that I hope to bring with me. So I have not really thought through any of this, really, but I'm letting you know that there should be videos. And I don't think they're going to spring a stitch along on us again, but they could. So that is that. That is that. I have a little bit of haul that I was going to share briefly. So the first of which I sort of alluded to at the beginning, but Craftigurumi on Etsy, I will link below, have a number of little mini bundles that are really fun if you are into the themes, and good for things like keychains. I actually bought some plastic canvas in case I wanted to stitch some of these up as little gifts. Oh, we have a guest star approaching. No. Sorry. So anyway, so I purchased, and when I was purchasing, the store was running a 20% off sale. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple other things that I had been eyeing. So where I got the Rapunzel Tower from was from the Princess Minis pack. Hopefully you're looking at a picture that is correcting me if I'm wrong. It was the Princess Minis pack. And then there was it's like Cosmic Sailor, you know, some kind of non-copyrighted version of Sailor Moon, but there's like a Sailor Moon pack, which is where the cat came from. And then I purchased 3 Zelda things. So I got, or 4 Zelda things actually. So I got a Korok mini set. I got a Breath of the Wild mini set. And then I also got the Tears of the Kingdom mini set. I love the Guardian and the Breath of the Wild set and the Gloom Hands and the Tears set. So good. And lastly, just insert a small story here. I don't know, speaking of big projects, as we were before us, has anyone experienced seeing a massive project and you think in your head, I don't want to do that. Like, it would be cool if I had it finished, but like, I don't want to do it. That's so large, so giant, so incomprehensibly big. Just the volume of work and time that you know would have to go into it. And so you're like, I don't want to do that. Yeah, it's cool. I don't want to do it. I have one of these pieces. Maybe this is not something other people experience. I have one of these pieces. I think about it a lot. I don't want to do it, but I like it. So we're toying with the thought that if I just, collecting is a different hobby than stitching. Collecting supplies, buying craft supplies is a separate hobby from stitching. So I decided I would just buy it because maybe if I owned it, even though I'm not going to do it, maybe if I owned it, it would stop haunting me so much. So again, it's extremely nerdy Zelda. I'm really just letting it take over my whole life, but it's fine. So this is the piece. This is a tapestry from Zelda Breath of the Wild. It is so large. It is so large. Here, you want to hang with me? I'll tell you how big it is. Never mind. I cannot tell you how big it is because it's not in my Google Drive right now. And I don't want to go through my whole Etsy listings. Anyway, it is huge. I have seen Craftigurumi, who put it out, has finished it. I think it originated from like a Reddit post. Anyway, it's very large. It's very, very, very large. And not only that, but it's extremely repetitive. You can see that like there's a lot of the same little motif over and over again. All the little guardians, the border, the tower. There's so much that is so repetitive. And I really don't think I would enjoy it, especially because there's a limited number of colors happening here. And yet it haunts me. Okay. And yet it haunts me. So we're trying this situation now, whereas I own it and I'm not going to do it, but I own it. And that's all I have to say about that. If you have a piece that's like that you're just kind of like, I don't want to do it, but maybe I'll just buy it, but I'm not going to do it. Please share. Please share. Anyway, so that's all the Craftigurumi patterns I bought. And then I'll share with you briefly, I got my subscription box from Black Needle Society. This is the Back to the 80s box. I missed the 80s by a couple years, but we love to see it. Love this bright colors here. So this is the bag. Don't You Forget About Me. A classic song. And then first up, I loved this. This is white fabric, Time to Die, and a tie-dye kit to dye the fabric, which is very fun. So we can have a foray into that, but very fun. It also came with a chart from Silver Creek Samplers, which says, I can recall most lyrics, but I still can't remember what I came in this room. I can't remember the reason I came in this room, which is supposed to be a play on I still haven't found what I'm looking for, which is fun, but I don't really tend to stitch people, so I will probably give this one away at some point, but I'm not going to subject y'all to holiday shipping. So yes, very cute. And then we got a scissor fob that is a little Rubik's Cube. Very fun. As well as a needle minder from Rebel Stitcher Designs, which I do love this one since I have decided to make Zelda my whole personality. Very excited about this. And speaking of fun threads, we got some very 80s colors here. We got Hairband, Cowabunga, and Totally 80s. So those were all really cute. And then we also got washi tape with little Converse on it, as well as 2 zipper pulls. So the first one is Video Killed the Radio Star. And then the other one I actually have on this bag because it just felt, you know, just felt cozy. So I put the Golden Girls, Thank You for Being a Friend. I don't think it's focusing, but you get the idea, on this bag. So that was very cute. And let me just go through here and make sure I didn't miss anything out of the box. But always love these. They always make me so happy to tear open. Oh, I did forget. That's right. There is a scrunchie, which is in my room because I've been wearing it a lot. It's a silk scrunchie. And if you're a Stranger Things fan, it is modeled after like 11 in the most recent season with her like little 80s outfits. So very cute little box. So that is all I got. A lot less shopping because I've been doing obviously shopping for other folks in anticipation of the holiday season. So, and I also splurged and got myself kind of a new desk setup, which has been really nice. I have finally joined, after 3 years of working from home, the standing desk walking pad life. And I mean, I'm only a couple days in, to be real with you, but I've been really enjoying it. It's been really nice to kind of get that in there and feel like I'm getting a little bit more movement than I have been. So really enjoying that so far. And I'm gonna glance over here one more time. Yeah, so I think that kind of gets us to the end of all of those updates. I do have 2 video games I want to share for your consideration. So we will go through those really quickly and then send you on your way because it's a busy time of year. So the first one is Crime O'Clock. So this one is definitely for folks who loved I Spy, love Where's Waldo. It is a hidden object game. There are some things I liked about this and some things I did not love about this. So I think it's just very much up to the player. So if you read like reviews on it, some people called it like a tutorial simulator because you're never really left to your own devices. But I think like when I think hidden object game, I am thinking like I Spy. Like I want a list of things I'm supposed to find and then I just find them, and that is the game. And in that sense, that is the game. Like you are told specifically what to look for. But they do sort of add this kind of like narrative plot on it, which I think in some ways adds and in other ways it detracted. So in the one sense, it was just kind of nice because you had a little bit of like a narrative story behind things. In the other sense, there was a lot of text you kind of had to click through, and it sort of didn't really matter because again, ultimately the game is you're finding specific items, specific people, that kind of thing. But it was cute. I finally finished. There is kind of like a story you play through, so that was fun. But there were, like I said, with the story, there were also these little like mini games that were not super fun. Like it was kind of cool initially, but you do it enough times, you know, and you're just kind of like, all right, sure. But anyway, kind of a cute one. There's a lot of sales going on right now, of course. So, you know, if you've been thinking like maybe I want to try something like this, again, this is one I bought on Steam, so I ran it on my like regular laptop. You don't need like a gaming PC to play this all games. So yeah, this ran totally fine. It was a little bit of a rough one to play in the evenings, especially at this time of year as it gets dark much earlier, because all of the maps are black and white. And so even with like night shift on, I'm putting the blue lights on, there was some nights that I almost felt like my sleep was affected. Like it took me longer to fall asleep on nights where I played this game because that black and white contrast was brutal. So maybe not a great winter game. But this would be one that I think could be fun with like family in town, whatever. You can sit around and look for this stuff. Because I will also say, I will plug, there is a mode outside of the like story, where you actually, it feels much more like regular I Spy, where there's just like a list of characters at the top that you're looking for and you just look for them. You just look for them. There's no narrative, there's no dialogue, there's no like bugging you or whatever. But yes, so that is Crime O'Clock. I had a fun time. Like I said, it's very, if I was rating like 1 to 5 stars, I feel like this one would get like a straight 3 from me. That like, I think there's an audience for it. I finished it. It's not like I had a bad time, but I did have moments where I was just like, okay, the story is not quite hitting the way you think it's hitting. So that's that. The other one I wanted to mention was Lottle Knots. And this game is so stinking cute. It's so cute. So it is an ocean-based game, and you are a little diver, and you're swimming around, and you are cleaning up the ocean. It is extremely, like, vibes, just pure vibes, because you are just, like, holding your mouse down, and you're just cleaning. It's like, I think I've seen it compared to, like, Power Wash Simulator, or, like, that kind of thing, where you're just, like, scrubbing, very calm. And so that one was extremely cute. And then what kills me about it is when you clean areas up, you find lottles, which is kind of a play on the word axolotl, you know, the little salamanders. And so you play on the little, you have the little axolotls, and you can name them, and they grow, and they follow you around, and they're very round and adorable, and it's just very cute. So you're just kind of running around, and you're cleaning stuff, and so you're like cleaning up the ocean, you're seeing adorable little lottles. It's a good time. So, but I will say, as much as I was like, you don't need a gaming PC, this one in particular, of all the games I've tried on my like regular laptop, it struggles a little bit with this one. It do be struggling with it. So, that's kind of the caveat with that one. But otherwise, I've been really enjoying it. Yeah. Okay. Once again, I don't think I can come in under an hour. So, yeah, I think that is it. Would love to hear any plans, any exciting traveling that anyone has coming up. All that good stuff. I have a lot of things to do before the Jingle Ball, which is in 2 days at the time of this filming. But we'll be fine. We'll be totally fine. I think I mentioned this last time, like, hope to see you in class, hope to see you at a stitching table. I was just watching the tutorial, like the kind of intro video to navigating the new Jingle Ball platform this year. And I saw that they've introduced the concept of speed dating, whip speed dating, which just sounds hilarious to me. I don't know if you didn't watch it, I'll just briefly explain, because this sounds so fun and I feel like everyone should participate. But I think basically, like, in the window, which is like a 30-minute window, there's whip speed dating. And so you can grab a finish that you're proud of, you can grab a whip, whatever you want to show off, anything you want to show off or talk to somebody about, and you say, I want to go to the whip speed dating thing, and it randomly matches you with one other person, and then you get in a chat with, like, that one other person, and you get to show your stuff off to each other. How freaking fun is that? And then there's an option at the end, apparently, that you can, like, extend your conversation if you're having a good time. or you can move on to your class or whatever else you have going on. So if folks are looking to, you know, meet people, make friends, all that good stuff, and, you know, some like the stitching tables are a great way to do that. But since there can be, you know, sometimes there could be quite a number of people at one table, and it can be kind of hard to join the conversation. I find that if there's like, you know, 10 plus people in a Zoom room or whatever, it can be a little hard to kind of get in the conversation. That is a great way to have a little bit more of a one-on-one moment. So if you haven't watched the tutorial of the platform, I've certainly never been on Excel events before. I think that's who's hosting it. It seems very intuitive, but obviously, you know, you put your mind at ease if you go watch that. It was a very informative video on Lindy Stitch's YouTube channel. So yes, hope to see you at the Jingle Ball. Hope you have had a restful holiday. If you had any time off, you celebrated Thanksgiving, any of that. And safe travels over the holidays if you travel in December. I, as you heard, have no idea what I'm doing exactly. I will see you when I see you. And I hope you all take care and are healthy and well and surrounded by love. I'll see you soon.